so listening, pay attention.
You're looking for capitals?
Brockworth Enterprise School, near Gloucester, a 900-pupil secondary. Graham Coverdale, a science teacher of 3 years, doesn't normally do practical work with his Year 8s, as he finds them too difficult. So he's invited John Bayley to watch 8C3 carrying out an experiment.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put your pens down and finish the starter later. If we don't start talking about this now, we won't get on to the practical. So, my grandfather and my grandmother on my dad's side, one was an assistant head and one was a head. My mother's a nursery nurse. I've got 4 or 5 aunties and uncles that teach. My sister's a primary school teacher, so they've been nagging me to teach ever since I finished university. And
God, we should make a series about the family, shouldn't we?
Well, I kind of resisted it. What's an insulator, Danny? An object that keeps things warm. Yeah, it does that, but there might be a better definition that you should remember. Laura?
An object that keeps in the heat.
Good.
It reduces heat loss.
All right. Their attention span is not good, and their ability to keep their mouths closed is not good.
Can we just watch for another 4 or 5 minutes? Because I just want to draw your attention to something. Every time, over the course of the next 5 minutes, you say something positive or reinforcing to these children, I want you to give yourself a tick.
OK.
Starting now.
Heat travels in 3 ways. One of the ways it travels is conduction. In order to get through a solid object, it needs to conduct. And materials that let heat travel through are called, as OJ said, conductors. OJ, what's the opposite of a conductor?
Insulator.
Good. An insulator's the opposite of a conductor. It's something that's very difficult to travel through. So how can we measure how good an insulator is? Which one is best at keeping heat in? How can we make this into a practical? How can we make it into a test? A fair test that we can conduct. Paul, any ideas? Paul? Paul? No, just Paul, Jack.
You put a thermometer in that, and then
a thermometer in your jumper.
Yeah, and then use a fan or something and see.
Well, we're starting to get there, but let's think about it in small parts. How can we get something that's hot?
That's it. That's your 5 minutes up.
Amy.
How many have we got?
Well, 1 definite and 2 probables or possibles.
OK.
Probably didn't use enough praise after we got going on the discussion. I think part of it was I was actually so relieved they were actually talking. Why couldn't I wrap this pencil around the metal cup?
Because it ain't bendy.
It isn't bendy, so what we need is a flexible insulator, don't we?
Cardboard.
Foil would be a good one. Bubble wrap.
Sir, cardboard.
Cardboard.
Because cardboard keeps the heat in.
What else?
That's why he tramps it on it.
Listen, Kevin. Now is the time for you to pay perfect attention. Because if you don't pay perfect attention, you won't be doing this. Sometimes you wonder, are they going to shut up? Are they going to listen to me? Will they stop talking? Aaron, take the cap off. Now. Leave it off. It's not as bad as mine, so he can't complain. Get rid of the cap. Now. 8C3.
Someone's eating sweets. Someone's eating licorice.
What is it?
You've had difficulty with this class in the past.
Quite a lot.
And I notice that you use an enormous number of qualifiers when you're talking about them. Even when you talk to them, sometimes you make some rather plonking remarks with them. Sort of just leave them hanging.
Can I ask you a question?
What is it?
Right, if you had your pee in a bottle, yeah, and you wrapped foil around it,
It would maintain some heat. Now.
It doesn't change to water. It gets rid of the germs, don't it?
No, it changes to
If you
water,
put it in hot water.
I watched it on telly, yeah, you put pee in the bottle because they had no water.
Right.
Put pee in the bottle, put foil around it, leave it in the heat, and it changes to water, then it? And then you...
No, it does not change
Well,
to
that's what he
water.
said.
My uncle said that, and he's in the army as well. No, because it changes to water.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Well, ask Warren Bagwell. Ask Warren Bagwell. Ask Warren Bagwell. He was in the army. He was in the army, and he said to me.
3, 2, 1.
I've just told you as well.
No, he says sir.
Kevin. Taylor. Right. Metal can.
There is curiosity. What's going to make things go warmer? What's going to make things go colder? That's in the world of encouraging children to make predictions.
Yeah.
And then to see if they come true or not. There is encouragement, and that might be verbal praise from the teacher. There's pace. Yeah, we're rattling from one task to another. Have you got any small whiteboards or anything like that?
Yeah, I suppose we could dig out what's left of them. They're not in very good condition. Huh? What does it say to do with the insulator first?
I don't know.
Wrap it round the tin before you put the hot water in. There's some sellotape on the edge of my desk to stick it together. Not got any water yet. That kettle over there's almost boiled at least.
Don't knock me, man. Be careful, careful.
Why are you working over here in the corner?
Because there's no space, and look how it's gone down now. It was 90 degrees.
Well, you're supposed to A, leave it in there,
Oh.
and B, you need to not sit on the benches,
And B, you need
and
a
C,
timer.
you need to wear your glasses, and you need a stopwatch.
I'm going to leave this with you because I think that the idea, you might find it useful to pick up on one or two of these things.
Yeah, encouragement, definitely.
I would also like you to try something. Have you ever come across that idea? It's a big favourite in teacher training colleges when you've been forced back by a class, but treat them for the first 10 minutes of the lesson as though they're your favourite class. And welcome them in and say, how do you do, and nice to see you, as though they're the best thing that's ever happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
8C3 are about to continue their experiment into heat loss, and Graham's hoping to increase his praise level.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Come on, mate. You've done so well today. Apart from those glasses, keep them over your eyes. You're doing really, really well because you're working hard. You've got rid of your cap, which is excellent, and now you just need to keep them over your eyes so nothing can happen to your eyes, all right? Thank you. Do we have a first result yet? That wasn't 20, that was much higher than 20.
95 degrees is right.
95 degrees, right?
That means it hasn't lost heat, it's gained heat. That means it's gained 75 degrees centigrade. Now, is that a kettle, really? You know, there's a little plug at the bottom and it's actually boiling the water.
Anyway.
Sir, there's no bubble wrap there.
Wrap that in the edge.
You've got about 3 minutes. Have a think about your results, work out which is the best insulator.
Like, what do you mean? It takes it in?
Yeah, which one keeps the heat the best?
My feeling is that towards the end of the practical,
Yeah, they lost the pace.
it lost the pace. Because some of them have done it, some of them have lost interest, and some of them wondering what's going to come next.
Yeah.
And so it either needs stopping and bring on the whiteboards, or there needs to be some extension work, or it needs differentiating a bit more, so that I've got more to go on to, or I've got a choice of tasks if I'm...
Well, I stopped it a couple of minutes after Taylor came and told me she could find the bubble wrap, and that was the last one he could do. And from my wandering around the room, Taylor's group was the most advanced.
Yes.
So basically, the problem was keeping on top of the ones who weren't quite so advanced and were taking advantage of it. Chris, for example, there, who did absolutely nothing.
Talk me through it. Tell me what you've done.
We stuck cloth onto this tin, then we put cardboard on top, we put a thermometer through it, and we're just writing down the temperatures it was. We have to wait for 5 minutes.
What have you found out?
Not much. Not much. I never did it.
You never did it? You never did nothing? Well, I saw you working earlier on. What was the lesson about?
The temperature of what it goes down in hot water for 5 minutes.
Okay, anything else?
I don't know.
What was the lesson about?
About insulators and which material takes in the best heat.
Okay, good. And which was the best insulator?
The wrap, what it's called. Foam wrap. Foam wrap.
Okay. These are both classic assertive discipline ideas. Command, praise, times 3. And what it means is that every time you give a significant command, you look around the room and you acknowledge at least 3 children who are carrying it out. This ties your praise to your commands. And by the way, it's not Joyce Grenfell praise. You're not saying, oh, you pretty clever children, you've done this and you've done that. Sometimes, especially with older children, it'll be a thumbs up or a look.
You put an ice cube into a drink. Which one's going to get hotter? Which one's going to gain heat energy, the ice cube or the drink?
I don't get it.
If you put an ice cube, which is cold, into a drink, is the drink warmer or colder than the ice cube?
Is this right?
It's going to be colder.
Right, so you put your ice cube into the drink, which one's going to gain energy, which one's going to get hotter? The ice cube or the drink? What you got? Answers up?
Ice cube.
Right, Kevin, can you go around and collect the pens?
I want you to be vivid, I want you to be explicit, and I also want you to be a bit more encouraging.
Yeah.
I want your glass to be half full, not half empty.
All right, you got one wrong. You use heat to... What's another word for escaping? There's 4 letters and we'll fit there. Come on. Come on.
I'm going to lift this monitor screen off the table, and then I want you to introduce the lesson to me. And I want you to get my enthusiasm going.
Introduce the lesson we just did.
Yeah.
All right, fine. All right. Can you stop doing that, please? All right?
I think you should tell me what it is you want.
Stop tapping the cable on the desk, please.
Do you want my hands empty and folded in front of me?
I'd like your hands empty and folded in front of you, but I was thinking you'd probably be old enough to be able to not fiddle by yourself. You know, it's only year 7 that we have to have folded arms for, isn't it?
OK, I quite like that instruction, so I didn't care too much for the sarcasm at the end of it again. Could you just say, John, I'd really appreciate your hands empty and folded in front of you?
Okay. John, I'd really appreciate your hands empty and folded in front of you.
All right.
First of all, the whole class needs to go get a can and collect a thermometer and a square lid. You've got 2 minutes to go do this. Off you go. Go get the equipment.
Well, am I working in pairs or working on my own?
You'll be working in pairs.
OK, and can I talk to all my mates about it, sir?
No, you only need to talk to your partner.
Can I spend the rest of my life doing this, sir?
No. We're going to have it finished well before the end of the lesson. That's why you've only got 3 minutes to get all the equipment set up.
OK, get it.
I'll let you start.
Do you get the idea?
Yeah.
It's being really explicit.
I know who's worked, and I'm going around seeing them.
Yeah, I'm not getting one.
I know.
Danielle?
I don't like pizza, and it's an outfit.
Just sit down for a moment, because we're nearly there. Have a seat.
Yeah.
What's the praise for?
It's going to make you feel that you are doing well and that the teacher likes you and that it's worth doing the right thing.
Yeah. You're dripping praise, you're not dripping sarcasm. When you've got a group of Year 8 kids lacking in confidence, it's the old... you've got to be their dad. You've got to be slapping on that encouragement and praise like nothing on earth.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that bunch as lacking in confidence until you said it. They always strike me, that particular class, as being extremely confident in there.
I think that'd be worth another discussion in the department.
Yeah, confident.
Yeah,
Confidence.
the relationship between confidence and teacher encouragement.
Yeah.
But I want to make you Mr. Vivid.
OK.
The end.